Casual sex relationships. They're not always so easy to establish, and they're certainly never easy to maintain. Now, I've done a couple of videos in the past on casual sex relationships, but today I've got a really special treat from you. Today we're going to have Lloyd from the Single Guy YouTube channel come and talk about his experience with casual sex relationships. Now, I've been working with Lloyd for a little while. I've been sort of shooting the shit back and forth, talking on email, and he's got some really great things to say. I have to admit I'm a little bit jealous of him because right now he's over in Medellin in Colombia, which is full of my kind of women. So he is living it up right now. So without any further ado, guys, I bring you Lloyd. Have a good listen. This guy knows what he's talking about, and I'll see you on the other side. Bring it away, Lloyd.
What's going on, you guys? My name's Lloyd. Thank you so much, Damien, for having me on your YouTube channel. It's a pleasure. Okay, guys, so we're going to talk about casual relationships today, okay? Casual sex, casual relationships, however you want to call it. Even though it's casual, it is still a relationship. You are still dealing with a person on a regular basis. And in order for you to be able to go through this in a positive way, there are certain things that you have to do. Okay, and certain things that you definitely shouldn't do. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to have a casual relationship, how to keep seeing a person without having to commit to them, without having to be monogamous or do any of those things that would put you into the full-on committed relationship category. But you're still able to see that person, and you're both still able to have a really good time with each other, okay? And have positive feelings as opposed to negative, feeling used, you know, feeling like you were cheated, those types of emotions in it. So that's what I'm going to be covering in this video, and I'm going to do it through telling you two stories. Okay, so the first story that I'm going to tell you is a story about one girl that I used to hook up with. We hooked up for around 3 months. I'd say I met her out at a bar or something like that, and we hit it off pretty quickly. Okay, I think we had sex maybe the second time we hung out, and then from there it was pretty much at least once a week for 3 months. And the sex was awesome. You know, she came several times every time we had sex. We both had a really good time hanging out with each other. We were both super attracted to each other. But unfortunately, especially towards the last month, things started not getting so good. Okay, we started to get into fights a lot. She ended up breaking some of my stuff, and she ended up cussing me out and never talking to me again. And it was really unfortunate because we started out at such a good place, and then it turned into what it turned into. Okay, and it made me feel bad, and it definitely made her feel bad too. Okay, so that's how I don't want things to happen like that for you guys. Okay, now the second story that I'm going to tell you, kind of similar. I met this girl, I think 2 years ago. And when we were out, we clicked pretty quickly. She was really cool. I think I had sex with her the second time we hung out. And then from there, again, it was like once or twice a week, every single week for a few months. And the difference here, though, was actually the sex was, I don't think she ever came with me. I don't think she came once. I don't think she's ever come. But with me, the sex was good. It was decent. But then towards the end, what ended up happening was that rather than it turned into a huge fight, we got angry at each other, we actually became really good friends, and I still check up with her regularly. And then we hooked up a few times later on as things went on. But yeah, mostly now I see her as a friend, and I see her as someone that I can trust and someone that I really care about. And I much prefer the ending to the second story than I do to the first story. Okay, and I'm hoping that you guys thought that the second story was a lot better too, because ending things with animosity and negative emotions is never fun for anybody. So what were the differences between the second story and the first story? Why was I able to have such a positive relationship with the second girl as opposed to the first girl? Okay, there was a couple big things, big differences between the two. Number one, the first girl, I did not set expectations correctly. Okay, I told her that I really liked her and I was thinking about a relationship. Okay, I told her that I was really, really into her, and I would talk about all these plans. We should go traveling together. We should do all this. Did we do any of that stuff? No, we didn't do any of that stuff. Okay, so one big thing was I didn't set the expectations correctly. Okay, the other thing too was I started to tell her what to do towards the end. I said, hey, don't hang out with that guy. Hey, you should hang out with me. And then one time I found out she was going on a date with another guy, and I just freaking blew up her phone, made her come over. Like, it was not good, okay? I got very jealous. I started to do things that I shouldn't do. Now, with the second girl, I didn't do any of that stuff. I set expectations correctly from the beginning. I told her what I wanted. I told her what I was thinking about doing, and she was okay with it. You know, yeah, sure, she would have preferred probably to be in a relationship or have a boyfriend, but just because she couldn't get that doesn't mean that she's not going to have a good time with me. Doesn't mean that we can't have a positive benefit from each other, you know? She actually told me later on that after our relationship, she felt more empowered, you know? She'd been going through some stuff, and it felt like it brought her right back into the game. So it was a positive thing for the both of us at that time. Now there's a couple key differences too that you would have noticed. With the second girl, I couldn't make her come, and I don't know if she's come from anybody. I don't think she has. Maybe she has, or I don't know. But she couldn't come from me. I always thought that for me to keep a girl around for casual sex, I had to be really good in the bedroom, and that was the most important thing. It's actually not the most important thing. The most important thing is how you treat them after, okay? Because for a casual relationship, sure, the sex is really important. That's why you're there. But if you make her feel like shit for 99% of the time after, that's still 99% of the time she's feeling like shit because of you. So why would she go back and hook up with a guy who most of the time she's going to feel bad because of? That doesn't make any sense, and no girl's going to sign up for that. So with the first girl, where we had amazing sex, you know, shouting out each other's name, making animal noises, orgasms left, right, and center, that didn't work out because 99% of the time she wasn't feeling good because of me. So even if the sex is off the walls good, she's still not going to go for that guy. Okay, the 99% matters, and it matters a lot. So if you've had sex with a girl, don't ignore her. If you have sex with somebody and you don't message them, like, you don't message them within 48 hours or 24 hours after, like, you're an asshole. That girl's probably never going to want to hook up with you again. And too many guys, because they're so being scared about being seen as needy, they fall into this trap, okay? You're never going to be needy by showing interest towards somebody, but you will be needy for doing permission-seeking things, by seeking her approval, and by doing little bitchy things like that, okay? That's what will make you into a needy person, but showing interest, no, okay? So make sure that you're showing interest in them, and that you let them know that you like them, but it's just that you want you don't want a committed thing, okay? And then in the second time too, even though the sex was really, really good, I made it seem like at the beginning that we were going to go for a relationship as opposed to, you know, just a casual hookup. So the expectations were all out of whack. Now, when the conversation came, when she actually finally put me on the spot, I gave a really weird answer. I made it seem like, yeah, you know, I would think about a relationship in the future and I would consider it, but right now I'm not ready. Okay, which was not true. I was never going to be ready. I knew what I wanted from the get-go. I was just too much of a pussy to tell her. With the other girl, I was not a pussy. I came right out and said it. And even though at the time she didn't like the answer that I gave, it was better longer term. The fact that she could deal with it right then and there made it into a much better relationship. And even, you know, I didn't know if I was going to be seeing her after that, but then she decided that she did want to see me. She did want to continue the relationship. And that's something that, had I looked back on the first one, I would have sacrificed the temporary pleasure of giving her the answer that she wanted for a longer term benefit. Okay, so when you have that talk, which you will have that talk at some point if you keep hooking up with somebody, depending on when, I'd say probably if you've been hooking up for about 2 months, you should probably have the talk. 2 to 3 months, you should probably have the talk. But until then, I would wait for her to bring it up, not you. Just show by your actions what you want, and don't see them too much, maybe like once or twice a week. Twice a week should be the max. And that should usually take care of most of the problems. Okay, so hopefully you've seen from both of these things how one was able to transfer into a friendship, and one, you know, we still don't talk. I don't know where she is or what she's doing. She probably doesn't think about me in a very positive light anymore. And it ended very sad. But the other girl, we're still great friends. I still care about her, still like her, you know, and we ended things positively. We ended things good. And it's because I set expectations at the beginning. I was honest and communicated what my feelings were. And even I wasn't a pussy about them. okay? I didn't see her very much. I saw her like maybe like once or, you know, twice a week at the most, okay? And then the last thing too was I let her know that I cared about her. I let her know that I was interested in her. I just didn't want that committed relationship. So I didn't sacrifice all my feelings for it. I just took some of them back, okay? And I think that's what you have to do. That's how most of my relationships now are with women. You know, I do this regularly. So like if you are in a position right now, I would mimic what I did for the second girl and not the first. And if you guys made it to the end, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is called The Single Guy. I do coaching mentorship programs. So if you guys are interested in that, there are forms that you can fill out on my channel. So take a look at that. Thank you so much for having me on this program again, Damien, and good luck out there, you guys.
So I hope you enjoyed listening to Lloyd talk. It was something a little bit interesting for my channel. I'm thinking of doing this a little bit more, bringing on some more guest speakers who have different insights that they can provide. So you're not always listening to my stupid voice. If you love this video, don't forget to subscribe my channel by clicking over here. And of course, check out some more of my videos by clicking the links alongside that. I'm Damien. Have a fantastic week. Take care.